Stop just for a second. Look at where you are now. Look at where you said you would be by now. There's a gap, isn't there? A gap between your reality and your potential. And deep down, you know exactly why that gap exists. It's not because you aren't smart. It's not because you don't have the talent. And it is certainly not because you don't want it bad enough. The problem is that you're still negotiating with your dreams. You are dipping a toe in the water to see if it's cold. You're interested, but you aren't committed. You are dabbling. We live in a world of dabblers, people who want the title without the training, the trophy without the sweat, the exit without the entry fee. But let me tell you the harsh truth that the world is too polite to say to your face. The middle ground is the kill zone. Casual interest produces casualties. Success is not a result of trying. Success is the outcome of a decision. A decision to sever the ties with mediocrity. A decision to look at the safe option and burn the bridge that leads back to it. The most dangerous thing you can do is live a half-life. Half-hearted efforts, half-finished projects, half-baked dreams. That is not living. That is lingering. If you're watching this, you're tired of the sidelines. You're tired of watching others play the game you know you could dominate. Today, we draw a line in the sand. Today, we stop playing small. Today, we go all in.
Let's talk about the greats, the icons, the people on your screens, the billionaires on the covers of magazines, the athletes holding the gold. Do you think they got there by seeing what happens? Absolutely not. They distinguish themselves by one specific trait: total commitment. They refused to stay on the sidelines. They understood that you cannot have $1 million dream with a minimum wage work ethic. When you look at a relentless entrepreneur or an elite athlete, you aren't seeing luck. You are seeing a person who made a contract with themselves. A contract that says, I am going to do this, or I am going to die trying. There is a power that unlocks when you cut off your escape routes. When you tell the world, this is who I am, this is where I'm going, and nothing short of a catastrophe is going to stop me. This is the shift from dabbling to dominating. Most people treat their goals like a hobby. They work on them when they feel like it, when the weather is nice, when the mood strikes. But feelings are fickle. Commitment is concrete. To go all in means you're done making excuses. It means you embody a relentless pursuit of your potential. You stop asking for permission to be great, you just are. You have to decide right now. Are you a tourist in your own life, just passing through? Or are you the architect? The moment you decide to go all in, with quality effort, with consistency, with everything you have, the universe has a funny way of getting out of your way.
I know why you haven't gone all in yet. I know why you hesitate. It's fear. You're scared of failing. You're scared of looking stupid. You're scared of wasting time. Or maybe you're scared of actually succeeding and the responsibility that comes with it. We have been programmed to view fear as a stop sign. We feel that knot in our stomach, that racing heart, and we think, oh, this feels dangerous. I should turn back. Wrong. Fear is not a stop sign. Fear is a guidepost. If your dreams don't scare you, they aren't big enough. That anxiety you feel, that isn't a signal to retreat. It is a signal that you are standing at the edge of your comfort zone, and that is exactly where growth happens. Reframing fear is the superpower of the successful. They don't lack fear, they just use it differently. They use it as fuel. They realize that the single biggest risk isn't missing the shot, it's never taking the shot at all. Imagine getting to the end of your life, sitting in that rocking chair and having to live with the ghost of the person you could have been. That is the only thing you should be afraid of. So, when you feel that doubt creeping in, when the what-ifs start to cloud your vision, I want you to lean into it, run toward the roar. That fear is telling you exactly where you need to grow. It's telling you where you need to push harder. Embrace it. Let it burn the weakness out of you. Every step you take despite that anxiety is a step closer to the person you are meant to be. Action cures fear. Indecision feeds it. Now, let's get practical. Motivation gets you started, but habit is what keeps you going. We love the highlight reels, don't we? We love the montage where the hero transforms overnight. But real life doesn't have a montage button. Real life is built in the quiet, unsexy, boring moments that nobody claps for. Going all in requires strategic vision. You need to know exactly what you're shooting for. You cannot hit a target you cannot see. Define your goals with precision. Write them down. Visualize them in vivid detail. But a vision without execution is just a hallucination. This is where the dabblers quit. They quit when it stops being fun. They quit when the new project energy wears off. Consistency is the backbone of commitment. It's about establishing routines and habits that persist especially when your motivation is at zero. Think of it like painting a masterpiece. You don't throw a bucket of paint at the canvas and call it art. You do it one brush stroke at a time, day after day. Some days the strokes are broad and exciting. Some days they're tiny details that take hours and look like nothing. But those small, disciplined actions compound. They stack up. You need to fall in love with the boredom of consistency. You need to show up on the days you feel sick, the days you feel sad, and the days you just don't want to. That is where the separation happens. That is where the amateur goes home and the professional goes to work. Here is a guarantee. You will fail. I'm not being a pessimist. I'm being a realist. The road to success is not a straight line. It is a jagged, messy, chaotic graph. You will stumble. You will lose money. You will lose friends. You will make mistakes that make you cringe at 3 a.m. The question isn't, will I fail? The question is, how fast can I get back up? This is resilience. The people who win are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who never quit. You must adopt a solution-oriented mindset. When life punches you in the mouth, you don't ask, why me? You ask, what is this teaching me? View your failures as stepping stones, not tombstones. Every no is one step closer to a yes. Every loss is a lesson in how to win next time. You have to be adaptable. The world is evolving fast. If you are rigid, you will break. If you are fluid, you will flow around the obstacle. Invest in continuous education. Learn from your losses. By refusing to let failure define you, you become unstoppable. You become a force of nature. When you decide that quitting is simply not an option in your vocabulary, you remove the power failure has over you. You can have the mindset, you can have the plan, but if your environment is toxic, you will die on the vine. You cannot grow an orchid in a desert.
Achieving ambitious goals requires environmental control. And this is the part nobody likes to talk about because it involves sacrifice. If you are trying to fly, you cannot hang around people who are content to walk. You need to look at your circle. Are they fueling your fire or are they pissing on it? You might need to sacrifice the Friday night drinks. You might need to sacrifice the binge watching. You might need to distance yourself from the friend who has nothing but negativity to offer. These aren't punishments, these are investments. You are trading a moment of pleasure for a lifetime of pride. Minimize the distractions. Get off the scroll hole of social media that tells you everyone else is doing better than you. Curate a support system of mentors, fierce competitors, and positive influences who hold you accountable. If you are the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong room. Surround yourself with people who normalize the extraordinary, people who make you feel uncomfortable because their standards are so high. That is how you level up. We are coming to the end, but this is really your beginning. To go all in entails one final non-negotiable rule: radical responsibility. Stop blaming the economy. Stop blaming your parents. Stop blaming your boss. Stop blaming the algorithm. When you take ownership of everything in your life, you take control of everything in your life. If it's your fault, that means you have the power to fix it. But listen to me closely. Going all in doesn't mean burning out. This is about holistic sustainability. You are the engine. If you don't maintain the engine, the car doesn't win the race. Balance the hard work with self-care. Celebrate the small wins. Acknowledge your progress. You need to protect your energy so you can stay in the fight for the long haul. When you do this, when you commit, when you face your fear, when you do the work, when you build your resilience, you do something greater than just succeeding. You become a beacon. You show your family what is possible. You show your community what is possible. You transform your life, and in doing so, you give permission to everyone around you to pursue their own greatness. The world doesn't need more people who are kind of interested. The world needs people who are obsessed. The world needs you to go all in. The time for dabbling is over. The time for greatness is now. So, I have one question left for you. Are you ready to commit?